This is Dolany TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today. As well, I'm going to get you to stop me, alright? Literally, please stop me. If you've heard this bit of breaking news not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, maybe 5, 6, or 7 times. What I'm talking about is a disgruntled Finnish player drafted in the top 4 of the 2016 NHL entry draft. And no, it's not Jesse Puljujärvi. I thought I had you there for a second. No, my friends, it is Patrik Laine. And I will try and find the exact quote here because, guys, this has kind of been, out of anything, I troll that Oilers hashtag pretty well every single day on Twitter. Well, this is absolutely lighting up Oilers Twitter on kind of the crazier pages, I'd say. Not necessarily saying everybody who tweets that stuff is crazy. I'm just saying the pages that put out the stuff that's more far-reaching, like I do sometimes, that's what I'm talking about. So, Chris Johnson of Sportsnet caught up with Patrik Laine in Finland today, and he talked about, while contract talks with the Jets are quiet, and Patrik Laine doesn't know what that means for his future in Winnipeg. Now here's the problem. What I've seen on Twitter, what I'm upset with on Twitter, is the fact that people are negotiating a Patrik Laine trade to the Edmonton Oilers. Because there's a multitude of factors here. It's a short-sighted trade idea at best. Honestly, the one I've seen, the package I've seen 3 or 4 or 5 different tweets, and it's a package by no means doesn't make sense. But what I'm saying is it's short-sighted, and I'll explain that in just a second. The package I've seen, that maybe it's been floated once, twice, maybe 3 times before this whole mess came out today, is Darnell Nurse, Jesse Puljujärvi, and a first-round pick or some kind of added incentive, right? Draft pick is just added incentive to make the deal. Okay, let's break that down. Jesse Puljujärvi, who's not signed. Darnell Nurse, who's signed this year for 3.2, if I am correct. Let's go over to Cap Friendly and make sure I am. 3.2 on the money. Yes, he's signed at 24 years old for this upcoming season. Okay, that is $3.2 million in salary between 2 players. Now, you've got a first round, second round, third round, fourth round, conditional 8th round pick. If you want to kid around with me a little bit here, going in that trade as well for Patrik Laine. Well, guys, do you see what I'm getting at? Right there. There we have our issue. Right? Cap space. Because if in a 3-piece trade for a Patrik Laine who needs to be re-signed by whoever trades for him, in essence, you've got your problem right there. The Oilers have 2.4 something million in cap space as it sits right now. So you take away 3.2 million, that gives you 5.6 until you're up against the cap. And there, right there is the issue. Do I need to make myself clear? I don't think I do. You see, 5.6 ain't going to do the job to sign Patrik Laine. So, right there, that's why I say it's short-sighted. Now, yes, what I've been preaching all off-season long, Brodziak, Manning, Gagne. You free up those 3 guys, you get them going somewhere. Suddenly, ladies and gentlemen, we can start talking about productivity in Edmonton Oilers land in terms of a Patrik Laine trade using Darnell Nurse, Jesse Puljujärvi, and a first-round pick. But hold your horses. Whoa, slow down. Slow down, because we got bigger fish to fry than just trade for an offensive weapon and not have enough cap space. No, the big issue here for the Edmonton Oilers, fam, grab yourself pizza, I'll be done in a minute. The big problem for the Edmonton Oilers as it sits is the fact that all of a sudden you take away Darnell Nurse, who right now as it sits is slated to be a top 2 or 3 defender on this Edmonton Oilers team on an already what everybody is kind of coming to a consensus is a makeshift weak, hold it together kind of defense. We've got problems, ladies and gentlemen, if we trade Darnell Nurse. Now you sit here, I know what I've said. I am not necessarily Darnell Nurse is even close to 100th best fan. Maybe not even on the top of 1,000. Because honestly, I know there's issues with the play. What I've said, brain dead at times defensively. You saw the lapses in offensive, defensive judgment. Now, he started cleaning that up towards the end of the year. It got better with time. And that's a big key why the Oilers, A, need to stick with him, and B, can't give him up. You can't go out there and give up your young defenseman especially. The thing is, if Darnell Nurse averages 41 points again this year, we're not going to have to pay him that big, massive contract. Because, guys, the thing is, realistically, we're starting to see the market for RFAs, with this Patrik Laine not talking to Winnipeg thing, go from here down a notch and a half. Because things are starting to change in the NHL. And with Darnell Nurse getting that contract extension this next summer instead of the summer after, hands, meet tied. Because guess what? The cap's not going up that much. That's the projection. Don't hold me to it. Anything could happen. Crazier things have and will happen. So that's my rant. That's my breakdown. I don't need stats. I don't need nothing to do it. It just doesn't make sense for the Oilers to do any kind of Patrik Laine move involving a Darnell Nurse. But now I'll humor you, because that's what I do best. Is I definitely think I try to explain both sides and stay right in the middle in most videos. Although I recently rewatched a game review against the Sharks, the 7-4 loss. Oh boy, I was very upset. But let's get this Patrik Laine stat right up here for you guys and make sure we get things for you. So Patrik Laine, by no means, is a guy that's going to give you problems necessarily. A consistent 30-goal scorer his entire 3-year career. This is not Jesse Puljujärvi we're talking about. He's put up at least 20 assists a season and had 2 seasons of 60 or more points in the 50s, 70s, and 60s. Last year, a down year, played all 82, had some problems going on. I don't really know. I don't know what the issue was. I didn't follow closely enough. I think at one point he just couldn't score. I think he had 5 goals in January or something and then lit it up. I couldn't tell you the story, and I'm not about to do the research necessary to give you a 2-minute spiel about it, when realistically the spiel's not about Patrik Laine himself. It's about the idea of such a trade. So, there's your stats. Humor yourself. I'll leave those up there for a second. Patrik Laine would definitely be what the Edmonton Oilers need on that top 6 right wing, right? Whether you knock him down to play with Nuge and Chiasson or whoever on a given night, or if you have him on that top line. Ooh, that would be gross. Don't kid me wrong. I would love to have such a top line. Oh my God, the NHL wouldn't stand a chance. But there in itself, the NHL would stand a chance because we wouldn't have an NHL caliber defense if we don't already, kind of deal. So, you see where I'm going. The issue remains cap space, contracts, defense, all that. For Patrik Laine in Edmonton, it just doesn't make sense. The only last thing I really have to throw out here on this video would be exactly what I'm thinking about. When I talk about cap space and Patrik Laine being an issue, you've got a 70-point scorer, 64-point scorer, 50-point scorer in the past 3 years. Well, the RFA market going from here, down to here, down to here, notch and a half, the issue, as I've stated, is the market's deflating a little bit because of the salary cap and unexpected lower raises and stuff like that. Well, what do you sign Patrik Laine for if you're the Winnipeg Jets, if you can find the cap space, if it all works out? Well, I think what ends up happening, you sign Patrik Laine for a 2-year deal at about $6.5, $7 million. That's the range. That's ideal but I think that's only what the Winnipeg Jets can get him for. I think if they sign and trade him elsewhere, it's going to be a lot bigger of a mess, probably in the $8.5, $9 million range. So guys, chew on it. Let me know your thoughts. I'm Tyson, this is Stolen TV. I will catch you in the next one.